Hello everyone, it's Christine here and I'm back for another episode of our stitch along, and we're still working on chain stitch variations, and we'll be adding to our little framing border piece here, and we're going to be working on the Rosette chain stitch, which forms a braided twisted chain stitch, and it can be used for straight lines or curves, and can also be used to make small circles for floral motifs. So we are going to start working it over here on the right hand side, and I'm going to pop through. I'm not going to use my hoop because I just think it'll be a bit too hard to position it quite right, so I'm going to pop through at the top of the line that I've drawn on with my friction marker, and then I'm going to take the needle through just next to that, back into the fabric, and then poke it out on the bottom line, so having it sort of straight pointing down. Then I'm going to take the thread over the top of the needle and under the needle, so it's anti-clockwise round the needle. I'm going to hold that in place, and I'm going to pull down while I'm holding it with my thumb of my other hand and get that little twisted shape. And then I'm going to use the eye end of my needle to pass my needle back through the first piece of thread that is there. And so if you can see, that's created a little braided stitch. Now I'm going to proceed to do my second stitch, so I'm going to move along a little bit. Going to try and keep myself straight, which you know is always a challenge for me. And let's just check, am I straight enough? I think I'm straight enough. And so we're then going to, actually I'll need to hold it up so I can do it properly. Can't really do it sitting down. So wrapping over and under, so it makes a little cross, and then holding onto the thread while we pull it through and pull down. And then with this stitch, you're going to find that little middle stitch that comes over from the previous stitch into this stitch. And again, just so you don't push your pointy end of the needle, we're going to use the eye end of the needle to pass the thread through under that thread in the middle there. And if you have a look, it then creates a little braided shape. And then we're going to jump along an equal distance again. And again, we're going to take the needle down to our baseline, trying to keep it straight. Let's see if I can get it a smidge straighter. Is that straight? It's a bit hard to tell. And then again, we're going to take our working thread and bring it under and over anti-clockwise, and we're going to pull our thread through while holding on to it. We're going to get our little braided first bit of the braided stitch, and then I'm going to find that middle thread that is there, and I'm going to pass my needle eye first up through that hole, and then that's going to give us our next little braided stitch. And then I'm going to go forward again, and we're just going to keep doing that now. So coming around, making our cross, pulling down, and then taking our needle and thread underneath the little stitch that goes between each braided stitch. And so you should be getting something. And again, I would really suggest using a relatively thick thread, at least while you're kind of practicing it, because it just helps you to see, and I think it makes a nicer effect. I did start with a thinner thread, but just didn't think it was making such a pretty braided effect. Oops, not coming through from the back. I was wondering, why does that not look right? No, we're just going from the front. So again, we've just jumped forward the same distance again. Going to bring our needle out the bottom, going to go over and do our anti-clockwise loop, hold the thread, pull it through, and then we're going to take our needle underneath the little joining thread, pull that up so we get our little braided stitch. And then we're going to jump over again. So again, taking it under and over, pulling through. Popping under the thread. Try not to prick your finger when you're using the needle the reverse direction. That wasn't that nice, really. And then going, this looks like that's a little bit caught up, is it? I'm not sure. I think it's okay. And then popping over again, bringing the needle part way out, doing the wrap, pulling the needle through, and then passing it up underneath the thread, pulling that through up to the top. So coming down like that, wrapping anti-clockwise, drawing the thread all the way through while you hold on to it. Just get my end to go a little bit shorter so we're not catching our end. Just do that. And then finding the little joining stitch thread, passing the needle and thread underneath that so that it goes up to the top, and then jumping along again. So I'll just keep doing it, so if you're still getting the hang of it, you can still watch. Oops, I didn't hold that one, so hopefully that doesn't cause too much of a problem. I just need to, I think I'll just go back and fix that because I didn't hold on to that one properly. So I'm just going to unthread that and unthread that stitch, and then we can go on our merry way after that. I like the ones where you can easily unthread and you don't have to sort of, sometimes they sort of go back a couple of stitches when you unthread something, but at least this one you can easily get back to the previous braided stitch. Just need to re-thread my needle though. Go. Okay, so then we're going to go over here. Over here, we're going to bring it anti-clockwise around, hold on to it. That's what I didn't do the last time. Get it to come down, and then we'll go up and pass our needle between the stitch. Then the next one. Anti-clockwise, looping it, holding onto it, and pulling it through. So I hope you're having a great day or a great evening. Then hopping along again. Getting the working thread and wrapping it and pulling the needle through. Pulling it down. I'll just sit it for a moment just to make sure we're getting sort of everything relatively even here. And then we can do our next stitch. just had a little tickle in my throat then. Might just have a sip of tea. Do a few more, but I won't keep you too long because I think by now you've probably got the hang of it. But if it's sort of not looking right and you've got a really thin thread, definitely maybe try a thicker thread. And you might find that just makes the difference. So I'll do one more and then I can let you have a go at it in peace. And I'll just finish off off screen doing the rest of my border. So there we go. That is, oops, you probably couldn't see that in that moment. So that's the little braided, well, the Rosette chain stitch, but I reckon it could almost be called a, braided chain stitch. So quite sweet, and I think that will make a nice little border once it's continued down. You'll see, part of that in the picture for this video. So thanks so much for watching. And tomorrow we will be moving on to making a chain stitch rose. And they're suggesting we use some ribbon. It says it can be done with thread, but I might give it a go with some silk ribbon, I think. So we shall see how we go. Silk ribbon is the suggested version. So I'll see you then. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you enjoyed this stitch. Bye.